स्वाध्याय टीवी डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी।
Namaste dear students, I Dr. Himanshu Patel welcome you from the Chaitanya studio of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University. We are in lecture series on Java programming. In last session we have learned iteration statement, that is looping statement. We have discussed three iteration statements, for, while and do while. We have also discussed which iteration statement should be used when, that is for loop is used for fixed time, while loop is used when number of iterations are not fixed, and generally we use do while loop for data entry operations. So, today we are going to write down some programs related to these looping statements. Now, let us have look at those programs. You can see on the screen the definition of programs that we are going to write down. The first program is a program to find factorial of given number. Now, you can already know scanner class. So, you can read data from the user. This scanner class we have used in marksheet program. So, we read a number that for which we want to find factorial from user, and then we display factorial of that number in this program. We have discussed nested loop. So, using nested loop we write down second program which has a two triangles. The first triangle is 1, in first line we print 1, in second line 1 and 2 and so on, and in second triangle we print number in this sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So, for these programs we will use nested loop feature of Java. Third program is to find sum of digits of given number. We can say which number user entered cannot be predicted in advance. It may be 3 digit number, 4 digit number, 5 digit number, anything. So, for this program we will use while loop, because generally while is used for repeating something for indefinite time. And the last program, we do not write down entire program, we will modify a program written earlier, that is for printing marksheet. In earlier program we just ask user to enter marks and then display total, percentage, result and grade, and finally we print that values in formatted output. But now we will ask user whether he or she want to continue this program. If he or she enters yes, we will repeat this for another preparing another mark sheet, and if it prays anything other than yes, we will terminate the program. So, for at least one mark sheet we have to prepare. So, for these we will use do while loop. We will start with finding factorial of given number. Let us start writing this program in NetBeans IDE. So, here on screen you can see we have one project with name iteration demo and package name is also iteration demo. Now, we will write down program inside this package iteration demo. So, right click on it and select new Java class. So, here in first program we want to find factorial. So, here I write down class name as a factorial and then press finish. So, we remove these comments for better viewing. Now, inside these factorial we write down public method main, public static void main, and its argument is array of string. Now, to read data from user we need to use scanner class. So, we select scanner class object SC and we create instance of scanner, and here as a source we specify keyboard, that is system dot in. So, now our scanner class is ready. Here I declare long variable f which is equal to 1 initially and one integer variable n and I for iterating loop. Now, these three variables are used in our program. So, first we will ask user that enter number for which he want to find factorial. So, here I write down enter number to find its factorial, and whatever value entered by user we stored inside n. So, here I write down n is equal to sc dot next integer, and here I just write down print. So, whatever value entered by user will be stored inside n. Now, what is factorial? Factorial for given number n is a multiplication of 1 to n numbers. So, here I write down loop for 1 to n, and our condition is I less than or equal to 1 and I is incremented every time. So, these loop will repeated for n times and we want to find factorial. So, here inside f I write down f is equal to f into I. So, first it will multiply f by 1, then whatever value of f is there it is updated inside f itself, and then it is multiplied by 2 and 1 into 2 is stored inside f. Now, these value is again multiplied by 3 and so on until the value of n. So, at the end of loop we have factorial of given number stored inside f. So, here I print factorial of given number. So, here I write down factorial of, then I concate n which is the value of n is f, that means answer is in f. So, it will print, for example, factorial of 5 is 120 if n is 5. So, we save this program and we want to execute this program. So, right click on these and select run file. So, here on screen you can see it is asking for number to find its factorial. So, here I am entering 5 and press enter. So, you can see on the screen that factorial of 5 is 120. We want to again run this program for greater value of n. So, here I am entering 10 and it will print factorial of 10 is whatever factorial of 10 is. So, this is how we can use for loop to find factorial of given number. Now, next program is for printing triangle, and for these we can use nested loop. So, right click on this package and select new and then Java class, and here I write down triangle 1 and then we have to press finish. Now, I just remove this comment for better viewing and we will add main method inside this class as usual. Now, here we have row and columns and n is the number of rows. So, first we create instance of scanner class. So, I declare scanner class object and also create instance of it, and our source is keyboard which is system dot in. Now, we want to ask user how many rows he want to print. So, here I write down enter number of rows and in n I store value entered by user, that is sc dot next integer. So, whatever number of row entered by user is stored inside n. Now, if you remember the triangle, in first row we want to print 1 2 1, in second row we want to print 1 2, in third row we want to print 1 2 3. So, we have already discussed this logic. So, here I repeat row from 1 to n, and every time we will increment row by 1. The inner loop is for column, and column is repeated from 1 to number of rows, because into second row we want to print 2 values inside column, in row third we want to print 3 values. So, here we have repeated column from 1 to number of rows, and these 1 1 2 1 2 3 represent the value of column. So, here I write down system dot out dot print and then the value of column, and once this column is finished we want to go to next line. So, here I write down system dot out dot println. Now, we save this program, and for better understanding we will run this program. So, here right click on this and select run file. So, here I am entering 5. So, you can see on the screen, in first row it prints 1, in second row it prints 1 2, which is the value of column, in third row it prints 3. Suppose you want to separate these numbers with space, what you have to do is you have to write down space after these, or you can also write tab. Now, again I save this file and run this file by selecting run file by right clicking on it. So, here now I print 7. So, you can see on the screen we have formatted output up to row 7. So, this is how this program works. For 7, this loop is repeated from 1 to 7, and this loop is repeated from 1 to number of rows, that is in first row it is repeated for 1 time, in second time when row is 2 it repeated for 2 times, when row is 3 it is repeated for 3 times. And what does it print is the value of column, which is ranging from 1 to number of row, and that is what is our output required is. So, this is how this program works. Now, for second program we just copy these logic, because it is very similar to our second program or second triangle. So, here I am creating second triangle by selecting Java class in package name, and here I write down triangle 2 and then I press finish. Now, we remove this comment and write down main method inside these. So, here the other things remain same, but only things we want to display is a value which is incremented by 1. So, here I declare one additional variable which is initially 0, and inside this column I increment sum by 1, and instead of printing value of column I just print value of sum, that is the required value is. For example, when when n is 5, this loop is repeated for 5 times, and in first when row is 1, this column is repeated for 1 time. So, initially sum is 0. So, sum becomes 1 and we print 1 here, and then when row becomes 2, this loop is repeated 2 times, but now the previous value of sum is 1. So, it will become 2, and again this loop is repeated. So, sum becomes 3 and this loop will print 3. In when row is 3, this loop is repeated for 3 times, but now it will print 4, 5 and 6, and so on depending on the value of n. Now, we save this program and run this program by right clicking on it and selecting run file. So, here I entering 5. So, you can see on the screen it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now, again we want to test this program for another value of n. So, here I am entering 7. So, you can see on the screen this loop works fine as we enter different values of rows. So, this is how we write down these 3 programs. The fourth program is for finding sum of digits of given number. So, here I start a new class by right clicking on this, and our class name is sum of digit, and then we press finish. Now, we remove this comment. We will add main method inside this, and here we declare one variable n for which we want to find sum of digits, and here I declare sum variable which is initially 0, and we want to add sum of digit inside this variable which is sum. Now, we want to explain or we want to understand how these works. For example, assume that n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we want to separate these 5, then 4, then 3, then 2 and then 1. Initially, this is a whole number which is 12,345. Now, I write down here n is equal to n modulo 10. Now, we know that it prints or it gives remainder after dividing n by 10. So, in this case it is a 5 when n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 12,345. Next, I add this value to sum. So, I will write down sum is equal to sum plus n. So, in this case sum becomes 5. Then I divide this number by 10. So, when you divide some integer by another integer, the fraction part is terminated, that we have already discussed. So, now n becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, in next case we get remainder 4 and sum becomes 5 plus 4 which is 9, and next time this becomes 1, 2, 3 because it is divided by 3. Now, we get 3, we add these to sum. So, it becomes 12, next time it becomes 12. So, we get 2, here it becomes 14 and n becomes 1, next time it returns 1 and sum becomes 15 and n becomes 0. Now, there is no need to repeat this procedure. So, we want to repeat these for until n becomes 0, but we do not know when n becomes 0. So, here we use file loop. So, first we create one scanner object and create instance of scanner object, and as a source we write down system dot in. Next we ask user to enter value of n. So, here I write down enter number to find sum of digits, and I write down n is equal to sc dot next integer. So, it read one integer value and store inside n. Now, we want to repeat something until n is greater than 0. So, here we write down these three statements. First we write down n is equal, or for better understanding we can write down r here, and you have to consider here r, because otherwise n will reduce to 5. So, here we have to take r instead of n. So, that is the mistake, and here instead of n we have to use r. Other values remain same, but value of n is not updated, but stored inside r, and n is only reduced to 10th when this last statement is executed. So, here I write down r is equal to n modulo 10, and then sum is equal to sum plus r, and finally we divide n is equal to n by 10 and update value of n itself. So, once this loop is finished, we have sum of digits inside these sum variable. So, here I write down sum of digits is, and then we want to display value of sum. Now, we save this file and run this file for. Now, here I am entering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, as discussed earlier, sum of digit is 15. Now, again I run this program for different value of n. So, here I write down 4, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7. So, you can see 4 plus 5 9, 9 plus 3 12, 12 plus 5 17, 17 plus 6 23, and 23 plus 7 30. So, it correctly print the value of sum of digits. Again we test these value for 9999. So, output should be sum of digit is 36. So, that you can see on screen. You can also check value of n for negativity, but this is left as an exercise. So, that program does not accept negative value, that you can write down inside these source before executing this while loop. So, this is how we can use while loop for repeating something for undefinite, or when number of iterations are not fixed. The last program is a program that we want, that we have already write down earlier, but we want to add do while loop for repeating these program output. So, first we open that earlier program and we will add do while loop. So, here is our program that we have already write down, which is a mark sheet. Now, these we have already discussed. These program runs only for once, and then you have to rerun this program. So, what I do is, here I declare one variable character ch that we will ask user to enter yes or no, and we want to repeat these program from these. So, here I write down do, and once output is printed, this do will finish, and then I write down while. But what is while condition is CH is equal to yes, which is Y, or CH is equal to capital Y. So, for value of CH, Y small or capital, this loop will be repeated, and here it automatically initialize value of CH to 0. Now, once this loop is finished, ask user to whether he want to continue. If he presses Y or capital Y, then here we write down SC dot next line, because last enter we need to consume, otherwise enter will be considered as a CH, last enter which is for last input we press enter. So, that will be consumed by writing SC dot next line, and we will ask fresh user for single character, and if it is Y we will continue this loop. So, it will again ask another student data and print mark sheet. Now, these will repeated until user press Y for repeating, otherwise loop will be terminated. Now, let us check how this loop works. So, right click on this marksheet.java and then press run file. So, here I am asking to enter name. So, I am entering first student's data, and I use marks, and it will print mark sheet and ask user whether he want to continue. If I press Y or capital Y, it will start entering data of another students. So, I write down another student data, so again it print mark sheet. Now, this process is repeated until we press anything other than Y. So, here I am pressing N. So, now our program is terminated. So, today's session we have discussed demonstration of 3 programs. One is for finding factorial, another is for printing triangles, and last program we write down is about repeating data entry for student mark sheet. So, now I hope you can understand when to use for loop, when to use while loop, and when to use do while loop. I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्याय टीवी